You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. Mark covers all things Penn State football and the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as anything related to the sports and fitness world. Tune in weekly to listen to a couple of dedicated fans talk about these topics without filters. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.
What's up, Steeler Nation? Welcome to the Mark Lesko Podcast. I'm your host, Jerrod, and this is Steelers Central. Hey, look at who we got here, guys. And we can hear him just plain as day. Say something, Mark.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Can hear you fine, bud. We are all set. Believe me, I am not blonde. I was not born one, but I had a moment where I looked at everything I could for why I could not hear you. And I'm just hearing a friend of mine just say, did you check to see if your laptop was muted? No, I did not. So that was the whole issue of that last time. But We are here now. We are ready to go, folks. As much as we want to say how great this win was, because it is a win, Mark, are you 100% happy on how this went down today?
No. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. It's good to be back on the Steelers show here with you. No, yes, I'm not.
Man, I'm glad to have you.
Yeah, I'm not happy about the performance, but I didn't think we were even going to win, honestly, because the Patriots are a good team. They have a good coach, have a pretty good quarterback. So I'll take it. I'll take the win. Overall, I mean, I think the offense looked okay. You had the box score up.
Yeah.
So you have the box score there, and yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, what was A-Rod's stats?
Sure, buddy. Can you see that?
All right, so not too bad. One rushing touchdown, which was Rodgers, so he had 3 touchdowns. And then Calvin and DK had a touchdown, right?
Yep. Yes, he did, bud. And they looked great doing it too. I mean, they were great. They were great plays. It was really well executed. I liked seeing that. Yes, we did get a little back on track this week, but again, we put up those types of numbers, 16 for 23 with 139 yards against the New England Patriots defense, which last I checked was not going to be winning any defensive team of the year kind of stats. I didn't hear those things going into the season, but yeah, that was about as grueling as a game as it could have been after the first quarter. The first quarter was glorious. Everything was going right in the first quarter. But this is why you play this game, man. You have to play the whole game. And after that first quarter, that was about as ugly as, I don't know how to describe this. I mean, it was basically just like slothing through the mud trails covered in glue, trying to make any kind of track. Like, it was like you just could not move. They could not do anything. And they were letting those big plays happen. They are still having trouble on the freaking 3rd and longs. What is going on with this defense when it's 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 582, and somehow these guys get 581 yards and they make it 4th and 1? Like, it is incredible what this team is showing in terms of its defensive attack, and it's just non-existent. I don't know. Again, I can't tell if it's play calling or if it's personnel. It's still a problem when you are 3 games into the season and you still don't know what exactly is causing all of these issues.
Yeah. I mean, the defense did what they had to do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, a win is a win, 2-1. They had an opportunity last week to win. The Seahawks, they're up like 14-0 right now. So I think the Seahawks are a pretty good team. Sam Darnold's definitely a good quarterback. He doesn't get enough credit for his performances and his play, but they could have potentially won last week if it weren't for Smith and Jigba catching that kind of having that final catch, and that was off a turnover. So,
right.
I mean, if they could just manage, they're scoring points, man. They're scoring points. It's something we haven't done in a while. I mean, we had seasons where we're scoring like 10 points a game with small hands Pickett, and we got A-Rod in there, some receivers. And we don't have like any outstanding running backs, but they all collectively kind of, do what they need to do between Gainwell and Jalen Warren. Caleb Johnson, I don't know about him. I'm not sure what they're going to do with him, but he didn't have any touches today, I don't think.
Nope.
And then who had scroll down to the receiving, Jerrod?
Sure, bud. Okay.
Yeah, so DK didn't have a 100-yard back, didn't have a 100-yard receiver, but they distributed the ball across the field. But our defense, like Penn State, we don't really have to worry about them, honestly. I mean, last week, Jalen gave up that long pass with Smith and Jigba, like I said. But besides that, they've got Jabril Peppers, they got Darius Slay all day. Jalen Ramsey, Patrick Queen, TJ Watt, Highsmith, Harmon's back. I mean, our defense is pretty set. I wish they would add one more receiver, which I heard Tyreek Hill, but I don't know if that would happen. He's definitely not a Steeler caliber player and with, character wise and all that. But yeah, overall, man, I was happy, honestly. I was. I didn't, like I said, I didn't think they would win. So they won. And they did it in a way that, the Pats had to go down and score and at the end. And we had them, pretty locked up there. So we won fairly convincingly, if you will. So I'll take it.
Well, you say fairly convincing. I say just barely on the edge of their skin. I mean, but we had the magic number of this game today was 4. The Patriots had 4 turnovers in this game, whether it be fumble by the running back or they threw it to us. And I know on their first time they fumbled, we got a touchdown from that. And you think, okay, well, if you can at least get points off of every one of those recoveries, then you are probably looking at like a 30-34 kind of matchup like that. That's what you should have put up offensively. But again, the fact that you have Aaron Rodgers being the guy he is, only having 139 yards passing, dude, that's like, again, Kenny Pickett numbers. And that I just can't have that. Like our star quarterback, who's 41 years old, who's been in the league for 20 years, has 4 MVPs, and you were reduced to only having that kind of performance again. Dude, listen, between Mike McDonald, who's now the new coach of the Seahawks, I really think he is a fantastic coach. Like, I think that was a big game plan for them last week where it was like, well, why did we look so minuscule? I think the dude, again, not only was he an offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, but now he is a part of the Seahawks culture. And Sam Darnold and him have really made some good things happen so far. I'm very impressed with what the Seahawks have coming for the next couple of years. But yeah, that was, I think, the reason why we had the game we had or the performances we had. Because again, Mike McDonald, he's trying to prove himself as a head coach. And boy, oh boy, did he ever. He came out in that second half, adjusting, doing what you're supposed to do in game.
Yep.
What did I do?
That was me.
Well, okay. But no, I mean, it's just, there's so many things that you have to prepare for, like an in-game, like spontaneity. And Mike McDonald did everything he was supposed to with that game. And of course, guys like Mike Tomlin and company don't do those things. They are so stubborn and so egotistical that whatever their game plan was going into the game, that's what it was going to be for the rest of it. Like, dude, we were up 14-0 in this game. And Mike Vrabel, who is a good coach, whether people want to hear that or not, like, he really is a very, very good coach. And I thought what they did with Derek May, what are his numbers? I mean, look at these numbers, dude. I mean, that's insane. his numbers were 28 for 37, 268. That's the kind of performance I was expecting from Rodgers against this Patriots defense. The Patriots defense is not going to be collecting anything this season. So it's definitely a huge concern that all of our wins so far are not at home, and they're still giving up. Like, did they give up 300 yards in this game total? Like,
yeah, well, looking at those stats, they had way more yards.
Yes, they gave up 369 yards. They gave up 369 yards. That is now the 11th straight game that this historic defense, the highest paid defense in the NFL, has given up over 350 yards a game. That's still a problem, and that cannot be a thing when we take on a team like the Vikings. Did you just see what they did today against Cincinnati? They made them look like pedestrian. That was like clear field going into bald eagle kind of stuff here in our hometown. Like that was, dude, that's insane. 48-10, I think, was that final. That's nuts. So I'm deeply concerned what Carson Wentz and company, again, Brian Flores has a huge chip on his shoulder with the Steelers because we let him walk out the door when he could have been our defensive coordinator doing some spectacular things. But no, instead we get Terrell Austin, you know, I don't know, what would you want to call him? Like the Pinocchio version of what we're trying to deal with. I mean, he's just a puppet on a string, just going over whatever Mike Tomlin's trying to do with his defense. And again, I am a huge belief of when you don't try to get your team enough reps as much as you possibly can with all these new names. I said it at my pregame, where if you don't have enough reps for these guys to start doing things when they're new guys, they have to know how to be cohesive. They know how to learn off each other. And this is not, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of miscommunication. We're seeing a lot of issues. And again, it's nice to get the win, but again, we know that there's too much talent on this team not to have a winning record. I'm sorry. You put all this money and all of this time getting these new players and not have a winning season, like I just would, it would be the worst case scenario. It would be a huge bust if the Steelers were to end the season with less than a 10-7 record. So if that's what they're shooting for, that's what it's going to be. But dude, it's just got to be a point where you see your teams on the schedule and you got to know that you're the better team. And so far, they haven't shown that truly. Again, they were outgained again. We won this game, but that's again because of all the miscues that between Derek May and the running backs gave us. They gave us a bunch of this game. If they don't make those mistakes, dude, they're running it down our throats, and it would have been a 500-yard total yards game, and we would have probably been beaten by 2 touchdowns again. So it's definitely a concern for what we're about to go into this next few weeks because, again, Cleveland beat the Packers. They somehow blocked that kick against Green Bay. Jordan Love had no answer for the Cleveland Brown defense. That defense, do you talk about a team that has a great defense? Cleveland may not have the most flashiest offense, but, dude, their defense is the one that's making statements. Like we're talking about, we're a high prolific. We have all these names. Cleveland is doing their jobs. They are absolutely ready to take on anybody this season. The Lions, the Ravens, anyone. I mean, listen, they weren't ready last week because, again, Lamar Jackson and company, they just have their number. It's just, it is what it is. But everybody else, like, this is going to be a tough defense to deal with. So I'm not saying we're in big, big trouble, but seeing what I saw today, I'm happy for the win, dude, but that's really the extent of that because everything else is showing. Like Jaylen Warren, 18 carries for 47 yards, for goodness sake. That, I mean, what is that, like 2 yards a carry? I mean, my goodness, maybe 3. But that's not going to get anything done. I know that these guys, they have their miscommunication. Again, coaching is where it's all at, dude. We look at the schemes, we look at the play calling, and again, it was all buttoned up and it looked fantastic in the first quarter. And then after that, it just didn't sustain. They figured things out, they adjusted, and they were able to keep us on our toes because we couldn't do anything pretty much after that. We had to wait until the last drive of our game to finally score another touchdown. We spent 2.5 quarters just getting the ball back. Like, there's a lot of things that have to be addressed. And unfortunately, like I said, I remember thinking, am I going to be happy with this game if it's a win? Absolutely. But there had to have been some things that were answered, and it wasn't, dude. They still gave up a lot of yards. They still have their troubles miscommunicating. Like there's at least 3 or 4 things that apparently you just can't fix right now in season, like, or they just refuse not to. I don't know what Mike Tomlin's issue is or why the coaching staff seems to always have these problems, but dude, this is really what it's coming down to. I'm not saying I'm scared for the Vikings game in Ireland, but I don't know what's going to, we have to change a lot. We have to change a lot.
Yeah. Looking at the box score here, Jerrod.
Yeah.
The team stats. I mean, at the end of the day, we could give up 1,000 yards, and as long as they don't score, I don't care, honestly. Obviously, if we can do that every time, not give up points, then that's fine. But we didn't give up points, and we scored the points we needed to score. And the Patriots, first of all, they're a good team. It was on the road. They have a good coach. They have a good quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, Drake May, 2 touchdowns, 268 yards. Hunter Henry went off, 2 touchdowns.
90 yards.
TJ Watt did good. Patrick
5
Queen,
sacks.
I think is yeah.
He's got 5 sacks on Derek May, so I mean, yeah. Or Drake, sorry.
Drake May, yeah. Patrick Queen had 10 tackles. Robert Spillane had 15. So, yeah, total yards 203 to their 369. They had 5 turnovers. We had 1. So, stats-wise, besides the defense, they easily should have won. But even Jabril Peppers had 6 touchdowns, 6 tackles, as you can see there. So,
yeah,
we didn't give up the points that we should have, which is good because they were close, like at the end of the half. And then we scored 21. I mean, we're doing what we need to do. And, hey, it's a win in New England. I'm really happy about that.
Yes, our first win since 2008. We have not won in New England in 17 years. So you're right. That's a good plus.
Yeah, and Matt Castle was the quarterback then. Debo just annihilated them. If Tom Brady didn't get hurt that year, they may have repeated, honestly. Yeah. They may have gone undefeated again, and that would have been a really good team. But, I mean, I think they still made the playoffs, even with Matt Castle.
Yep.
I can't remember, but going into that game, they were still in the hunt, the Patriots, even with Matt Castle. So, and he was the guy that he didn't even start in college because USC was like such a powerhouse then that even backups were playing in the NFL. But, yeah, for me personally, we did what we had to do. We're scoring points that we did not do before. I mean, the offense used to be absolutely horrendous to watch. And then we had Najee Harris, who literally ran in slow motion. I mean, he was horrible. No vision. I mean, he was one of the biggest busts we've had in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So Jaylen Warren, he's quick, shifty. Kenneth Gainwell, he's a good running back too. I mean, he backed up the best running back in football last year and has a ring. Same with Darius Slay. But, one thing that sucks is the Browns did win. That's a divisional opponent right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they beat Green Bay, but they did. That was a weird last-second thing. And then the Eagles, they
that blocked field goal to win a touchdown.
Yeah.
Man, if I'm the Rams, I'm just devastated. I mean, I wouldn't be able to freaking go on the way. They're flying all the way back home to Los Angeles. Oh, God, I would be so sick to my stomach. Like, you lose on a freaking play like that. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Davis went from being ejected to literally having a punt block return for a touchdown. So, like the first slate of games here, I have Red Zone on right now. The first slate of games is very interesting. And, like, for example, I have this loser poll at work, and I picked the Dolphins this week to lose. You pick a loser. You can't pick the same team every week. And this week I was like, I can't pick the Browns because God knows what will happen. Can't pick the Panthers because God knows what will happen. I think the Panthers, they won, right? The
I was
Panthers,
just saying, didn't they win?
they like dominated the Falcons, I think.
Wow. And they went into that
2-0. What kind of sense does that make? And then why can't I find the Panthers?
Wow, they won 30-0. Wow.
Yep. So and then I think the Titans, did they win too?
They did not. No, they got destroyed by the Colts.
But the Colts
that's my big prediction too. Out of that entire AFC South, I said between the Texans and the Colts, I'm like, there's just something about that Colt team. Not that Tyler Warren, who is absolutely one of the greatest things to happen to Penn State in a while, is now their tight end, and he has won consecutive back-to-back Rookie of the Weeks. He has a chance to win Rookie of the Year. It's looking pretty darn good for the kid. So I'm very impressed with what the Colts have right now. And it just goes to show you, dude, that Daniel Jones is not a schlub. He was not like some bust in New York. New York just did not know how to use him correctly. Now that he's out in Indianapolis, they're doing some pretty spectacular things. And I know we faced them this year.
Yeah. Overall, like it's a weird day in the NFL, but I mean the Colts are 3-0 with Danny Dimes.
They're fantastic.
Someone who I follow who is he's a quarterback guru, honestly. He knows football inside and out. He loves Danny Dimes. He thinks he's a great quarterback. Obviously it's working for him. He's in a great system.
Yeah, you're right.
And let me see here. They've played the Dolphins, who are, I mean, I don't know. I think they're kind of getting a bad rap. They're still the Dolphins, man. They have a ton of talent. They're just not playing well. But let's see here. They beat the Dolphins, Broncos, and Titans. So, those no win in the NFL is easy.
Nope.
But they're 3-0. And then Sam Darnold, like, he likes him a lot too, Sam Darnold. He was on the Jets, which is an absolute dumpster fire. Justin Fields, he'll be out of there probably after this year. And the head coach, he might get fired after 1 year.
Yep.
But, you have some of these quarterbacks, some of these players that get into bad systems. And, that's why I wish all these good players could come to the Steelers, because they're better when they come to the Steelers, because the coaching is always – the development is always there. Mike Tomlin is a developing coach. He's a molder of men. So
I'm going to stop on the defensive side. You can't tell me he does that on the offensive side. I've seen so many players come through that system, and everything that's offensively bad with them, it is basically night and day, dude. If he knows how to freaking take a piece of clay and make it into a statue of David, and over here he's doing finger painting with the offense. I mean, that's really what it looks like, bud. So as much as he knows how to get everybody on the team on the same page, when you're talking about developing the players, the offense has never always looked good when it comes. Big Ben retired, dude. Ever since that happened, you've seen what the offenses look like, and it's like it's being held on by tissue paper almost. It's bad.
Yeah, the fact that the Steelers are in a position where Aaron Rodgers was like our only option, really, at this point. Big Ben retired in 2021 or something like that? 2022. So he's like damn near in the Hall of Fame, and we still haven't had a solid quarterback come in. I mean, I like Aaron Rodgers. I think he is a solid quarterback, but we should have our future by now.
Yeah, no, you were right about 2021. Our first season without him was 2022. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so sorry I'm looking down a lot. I'm just looking over the stats and stuff here. But as I've said before, said it with Jeff Brown when he was on, that on average, our points per game in the playoffs, the past since we've been in the playoffs, haven't won since 2016 or something like that.
Yep.
15 points a game in playoff games that we played in, and that's usually a 1-and-out. So my concern was points, and we're scoring points, 21 points. That's more than they scored. So as good as our defense usually is, we just have to score points. So we have, I think, enough weapons. Our running back room it's not what we need it to be, but if you look around the NFL, there aren't a lot of teams that have solid running back one, and then like a solid 2. You know, and you know, even like the Saints, you know, they have Alvin Kamara. I mean, he's aged. He's still good. He's my fantasy running back, but you know, like Kenneth Walker for the Seahawks. I mean, he's good, but you know, you don't have like an Adrian Peterson, a LaDainian Tomlinson, like Barry Sanders to take it back, like a Jerome Bettis. Like you don't have like a lot of solidified RB1s in the NFL. Like Saquon, he's one. Christian McCaffrey's one, but
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, you can get away with it, you know. But if we can add one more receiver, one more piece there, or incorporate one of our like 7 tight ends that we have, then you know we'll be in good shape. So, you know, it's just I'll take it, man. I'll take it. I mean, Rodgers is doing what he has to do. Rodgers is not costing us any games. Like even last week, I wouldn't put that on him. Honestly, you know, personally, I wouldn't put it on him. It was a critical turnover, but would you put that loss on him? Would you put that loss on him last week?
I mean, if we're putting in percentage, I mean, I'd like to think it'd be like a 65 no and a 35% yes. That one pass in the end zone, I think, was the one nail in that kind of coffin thing where it's like it had so much momentum and it would just kill when he just gave up the ball. Because I think at the time we still had a chance to have the lead and expand it if we didn't get the touchdown. Because if we kick a field goal, I think we would have been 20-14 at the time, even if they would have scored that touchdown, which I think they did anyway. I mean, and then you, of course, put in the Caleb Johnson thing. I mean, I put that on coaching, guy. Like, I don't care if Caleb Johnson, I know your instinct is never to say, hey, by the way, do you know about this rule where if the ball is live in the, you know, back where you're catching, if you don't get, it's a live ball, like they can take it. Like, I don't care if you need to ask that question or if the kid is like, you assume the kid knows. It's like, you can't put a rookie in that situation like that. So I don't know who was returning for us this week, but whoever it was should have been doing it last week. You can't put a rookie in that situation. That's not fair to that guy. It's just not. And now it's like he lost his job. Now they have no confidence in the guy. So it's like, how are you supposed to get it back? Especially when you're using Gainwell like you're using him. Jaylen Warren is our RB1. That first series today, when we got the ball from New England, and the first play that we did was that little flip over to DK, and he ran it for about 15 yards. And then we put him on us like, the 35. And from the 35 to the end zone, they were running the plays. They were running the ball. And Jaylen looked fantastic. He was scraping and he was zipping around and he was getting the yardage. They did 4 or 5 straight run plays and he looked great doing it. I was like, I wonder if we were doing this all the time and we just thought maybe we don't trust Jaylen to be healthy. I don't know what the issue is, dude, but naturally when we got down to the end zone and we got that pass interference call that we got because they, yanked on Darnell Washington pretty good. So it put us at 1st and goal. And the very first play that we threw was this little flick back to Gainwell, who got the ball and he ran it in. I'm like, I knew, and again, when I saw that it was Gainwell, I'm like, man, why do we have this? Why in the world do we constantly have these issues? Or like why they have the situation? Because again, I want Warren to be our guy. I'm not saying I don't like Gainwell or anything, but you gave this guy an extension, and it's like, why can't you use him properly? Why in the world are you trying to make things more tricky than they need to be? So I don't know. It just seemed like when they started doing things like that, it was like it clicked better. They had a better rhythm to it, and it should have opened the passing game up, and nothing ever came of that because we kept doing different things. Like we did a pass play, a run play. It was like we got back to inconsistency. So yes, it's a great thing to see that they had more points than the other team. And again, everyone had a lot of the analysts and experts. They did say that New England could be a threat this year. They said between Mike Vrabel and Derek May, they have some names between Stevenson and Gibson being their running backs. Yes. And of course, Stephon Diggs is Stephon Diggs. He's like 30, 32. He still has some juice left in the tank, but again, there are names that you can attach that's like, yes, they're going to try to do something this year because, the Jets have kind of a down year with Justin Fields and company. And, the Dolphins are completely going away. I just don't see how they're going to bounce back after 0-3. And I just saw they fired, what's his face, the head coach, Mike McDaniels.
They did?
They fired him, yeah.
When?
I'm pretty sure they said that on the headline. I mean,
well, good.
McDaniels head coach?
No. They didn't yet.
Okay. Must have been spam
but
or something.
He'll be gone. He'll
but
be
I'm
gone.
saying it's 0-3, and I just have this feeling that it's going to happen. So,
no, that's a good assumption to make, Jerrod, because they're going to fire him.
Absolutely. Yeah, so so you're right now competing with the Bills. So I don't. It's possible that the Patriots could sneak in, maybe like be a wild card team or something like that. But honestly, if you look at the whole landscape, and after this, dude, we will flip over to Penn State and Oregon. But if you look at the whole landscape of the AFC, like the teams that are solidified to do something in this league, the Ravens, the Bills, I think they're going to represent their divisions. The Colts are going to represent their division. So who does that leave? The West, the AFC West. I do like the Chargers. I think I made that point when I made my preseason predictions. I think I do like the Chargers over the Chiefs. But you would like to think that because Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid is Andy Reid, that the Chiefs will at least be a wild card. So it's like your question.
Yeah, probably a wild card, man, but I think they're cooked. And being that this is a Steelers show, it's either Steelers-Eagles or Chargers-Eagles in the Super Bowl. So it's going to be Chargers-Eagles. That's going to be the Super Bowl.
We've been talking about Keystone Super Bowl for years. I don't think it's ever going to happen. As cool as it would be for the state just to represent and everyone in the country having to watch the state of Pennsylvania in the Super, that'd be so cool. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
Besides their offense, man, I think the Eagles, they're so stacked. They have so much talent. It's unbelievable.
But
if they can keep
crazy,
this roster
if you look up the numbers, dude, they're the cheapest defense in the NFL. I think they spend only $70 million or something on their defense alone.
Well, their offense, they have like so many weapons, and they have Jahan Dotson on top of that.
Yeah.
But I think the Eagles, honestly, like they can scrap it together. I think they could be the next team that could be on their way to a three-peat. The Chiefs, they got their three-peat. They lost in the Super Bowl. They lost in wherever it was, England. Then they lost last week. So they got their three-peat. Taylor Swift is making a 0-2 song. Did you see that? It says,
no.
I don't know about you, but I feel like we're 0-2 or something like that, you know. Instead of 22, it's 0-2. But and people say like, go ahead.
If you focus right now on the AFC, dude, the Ravens probably are going to win this division. I think that's a given. The Bills are going to win theirs. The Colts, I think, are winning theirs. So that means the Chargers, I'm calling for it. I think the Chargers are winning that division. So if you look at the 3 spots for the wild card, how could we not at least be in consideration for it? I mean, because what else do you have in terms of the landscape? I think everyone's faltering. I mean, there's just so much downness in the AFC this year where it's like, what? You're looking at maybe the potential that the Chiefs may not even make the playoffs, and they've always been a wild card team for quite some time.
Well, I think what it's going to come down to, as good as Josh Allen is, the Ravens blew that Sunday night game, and Lamar Jackson, I think he's on his way to winning the MVP again.
Yeah.
You know, I think Josh Allen, unfortunately, it's going to be the same old song and dance, him and Sean McDermott. I don't know if they can beat the Chargers in the playoffs. Yeah. I don't know if they can beat the Ravens in the playoffs. But the thing about this team, to be quite honest with you, is no matter who we play, as long as our offense can put up a couple touchdowns, man, just like in 2005, you know, I think this team can compete, honestly. I think they can compete against just about anybody because that's what the Steelers do. And that's what happens when you have a quarterback who literally in his sleep, man. I mean, he's been playing elite football since some of these QBs were in high school, middle school, you know. And that's what happens when you get a guy like that. So I think they can compete with anybody, honestly. So
right. Well, dude, and also the fact that I didn't see a single sack for Aaron Rodgers today. The offensive line did not give up a single sack. That is a huge upgrade from what I've seen from them so far this season. That is a huge plus. And, you know, defensively, yes, we had the turnovers. I was very happy to see that our defense can still make things like that happen. Yeah, we had a lot of great moments, and we made things interesting for sure. But yeah, like the one big thing I would say with the Steelers is if you can get that 300 plus whatever yards total given up, like if you can eliminate that, just give up 250, like, against the Vikings, which again, I don't see that happening either. Because again, you're walking into the Lions den with Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, or not, Justin Jefferson, Addison Russell's coming back soon. Again, they have a lot of playmakers, offensively for them. I know Jones is hurt. It'll be interesting. I mean, but dude, when you put up now, again, I talk about how they destroyed Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Bengals have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They are terrible. I mean, that's the thing. If we're going to take advantage of it, Aaron Rodgers can air that ball out against that defense. So if we're going to win those games against the Cincinnati Bengals, it'll probably be like those 38-35 bouts. But again, as long as you score more points than the other team, that's what I love about the NFL over the NCAA, because I think they projected Penn State, not to segue into it, but they talked about Penn State going down to third because Miami put on such a huge show against their last game and we dropped. Because it's like, why are we penalized because we didn't play? It's like, just so make Miami third. Like, why do you have to jump it over us because we didn't play? Like, that's what I love about the NFL. It doesn't matter like what you did, or if you're on a bye week, if you're still better than the other team because you won and you have a better record, that's all they care about. So
yeah, I think let me look at this again. Let me see here. All right, A&M, they had a bye and they moved up one. Right? Did A&M have a bye?
I know Ohio State and us did. I don't remember if Texas A&M did.
Let me see here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had a bye. Yep.
Okay.
So they had a bye and they moved up one. We had a bye. OSU didn't. Oh, we had a bye. We moved down one. OSU had a bye. They didn't move. Oregon, they stayed. So it's going to be 3 versus 6. I mean, do you want to get into the Penn State?
Yeah,
now,
dude, I want to segue into that. I think we've exhausted everything we can with this game. It was again, awesome that we saw the win, but there is a lot of things that still need to be cleaned up. I'm not saying it's fixed or anything just because we won. 2-1's a great way to start the season, and if we go into Ireland and we do the same exact thing, then we're 3-1 and we get to go into our bye feeling a little better about ourselves. But then we come home for Cleveland. And we got to show up in that game. We got to have things taken care of. Because I'm telling you right now, if I see that Joe Flacco comes into Pittsburgh and he looks like he's better than Aaron Rodgers, and if that defense shuts us down, bud, that right there cannot happen. It can't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they need to certainly show up against Cleveland because that's never a guaranteed win.
Nope.
But to segue into Penn State, we've got the top 25. We moved down one, and then we got Oregon coming up. But yeah, Jerrod, so Sundays you're doing live pregame, live postgame.
Yes.
And then during the week you'll be doing an NFL breakdown.
Yep.
And Pirates coverage. So that'll be sprinkled in.
And then Tuesday I do my preview for the coming week's game. Yeah.
Yep.
You realize, dude, now you talk about they say Penn State and Oregon. Do you realize that this weekend, Saturday night's our game against Oregon, whiteout, prime time. And then next morning, it's us and the Vikings at 9. We are going to have 12 hours of football break. Like, I've never seen my schedule where I'm going to see 2 football games in less than 12 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah, so, it will be. Because, we are in Ireland next. So Penn State, the history, the history of these two programs facing off. It's 3-2. We're up 3-2. So 1960, we beat them 21-14, and then 17-7 and 63. 64, we lost 22-14, and then 94. 38-20 Rose Bowl. 2024 we lost. So I kept thinking the last time we played was 2020 or 94, but we did play last year.
Yeah.
So it's the 409th win, or I'm sorry, 409th game in Beaver Stadium. So if that's not symbolic, then I don't know what is.
That another number we know for?
Yeah. So Tuesday, we'll be recording an episode. I don't know if it's going to be live. I don't think, but it's going to be me and Brett and 2 Oregon fans. So, Jerrod, we'll actually be on late that night, so you might be able to come on. It's going to be at 9:30.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I absolutely can do it then.
Yeah. I wanted to keep it 2-on-2, but hey, it doesn't matter. But yeah, we're going to have two Oregon fans on, both diehard. One's from Ohio, one's from Mountain Time. So I think, like, for example, the one guy that's coming on, I believe he's a professor. He was at UVU when the Charlie Kirk thing happened. He was teaching a class there. So he's out west there. And so it'll be 9:30 Eastern. I'm probably just going to record it just in case, God only knows what could happen during an episode like that. But I'll record it and then probably post it live on Wednesday. So we're going to be doing that for the game. But yeah, 409th game in Beaver Stadium. So yesterday I was talking to Brett about college football, and he sent me this thing of Arch Manning, and he was taunting a Sam Houston player, and he said, chill out, it's Sam Houston about Arch. And I said, well, they were probably talking a lot of crap, which they definitely were. Just, I know they were talking crap, man. And he got in the end zone. But, he said Arch is trash. And to me, he's not playing well, but I don't think and I'm sure he meant performance-wise he's trash because he's not playing that well.
Right.
But he's definitely not a bad quarterback. But I said if Arch is trash, then Drew is, I don't know what he is. He's way worse. So
listen, I remember ever since I mentioned the QBR thing to you, you have been on that pretty well, and I applaud you for getting on that because, again, I look for all stats. That's what I do too. And I just was sitting there thinking, they have got to be pointing out his QBR stats. I know they don't do that in college, but they definitely do that in the NFL. And I was curious to see what it was. And when you brought that one video up, I was just like, oh my goodness gracious. It's worse than I thought. I thought his QBR rating would be somewhere in the 50s or the 60s, which is below the average. And I saw it was 20.1. I'm like, that ain't good, dude.
And, Brett also said QBR is not a real stat, which it is. I mean, it's a passing stat. It encompasses a lot. I mean, when your stats are so bad that it says if he were to drop back and spike the ball every play, his QBR would be better. I mean, that's bad.
Yeah,
that's really bad. And that obviously that's only incompletions and not. There's stuff that isn't factored in when you just spike the ball, but
right.
Just thinking about this team and what we've seen. Drew Aller mentally he's a wreck right now, man. I mean, I said it last year. And if you watch, I think it was either Notre Dame or Oregon game. I think it was Notre Dame. Brett and I were we were heated. And he said, we didn't have receivers, which we didn't. And I said at the time, it's BS. It's an excuse. Not on Brett's part, but for the team. And we have them now.
You have Liam Clifford, you had Wallace III, and you had some other name for why that was not Tyler Warren. Yeah. So I'm like, I know these names because I follow Penn State, but you're saying names. It's no. I mean, Clifford's the only one that has the last name. But
I mean, and on top of that, they had 2 great running backs and one of the best tight ends in college football history. So, I said it was BS. It was an excuse. Now he has the receivers, and what have we seen? I mean, my God, man. I mean, Brett's an optimist. He always was, always will be. But I just don't know. I don't know, man. The more and more I think about this game, the more and more I see the beginning of the season, I thought we'd be playing way better and we'd be dominating these first three teams. Drew Aller or Nick Singleton or Katron or one of our receivers would be in the Heisman race.
Yep.
That couldn't be further from the truth.
Nope.
And yeah, Aller is just, I don't get it, man. Like someone asked me the other day, like, what happened to Aller? Like I said, I think his girlfriend dumped him or something. I don't know. Because like you said,
I think there was something that went wrong at some point.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, man, the quarterback and the head coach, they get all the credit. They get all the blame. He needs to play better. I guess, like we said last week, that the offense doesn't seem to be tailoring towards him, which, okay, if it's not, then you need to do that because this is stupid. Are they holding back? Maybe. I don't know. But Drew Aller is not going to win us games. He's going to manage wins, maybe, but he alone is not going to win us games.
Yep.
Last year, they put it on his shoulders. All these good teams, they put it on Drew Aller's shoulders. That's what every team does. Good team does. Because they know he's probably going to fumble it, He's probably going to get messed up. That's what they did. Ohio State did last year. I mean, we were up 10-0. Are you kidding me? And we didn't have a single offensive touchdown. So Brett said run the ball against Oregon. But if we do have to pass, I don't think we're going to win, man. I don't think we're going to win. And at the end of the day, I don't think we're going to win. And at some point this season, I think we might see Grunkmeyer. Because if you're James Franklin, you have to do that. You can't just play a guy because it's who he is. His job is going to be on the line. So I think we're going to see Grunk sometime this season. This is like a worse nightmare scenario, but I don't think we're going to win.
I contemplate the notion of historically with Franklin, historically with these types of setups where Penn State has to finally prove itself to the committee, to the entire nation that watch them, and it's like they're always rooting against them. I don't know if there's like the hex that is on Penn State. It's just because, yes, I know that we've had our history with what we've been going through these past 20 years and what we went through with the whole scandal and everything. And we've been trying to claw our way back ever since. But again, what did you do? You let Bill O'Brien go. You did. I don't care if the NFL enticed him to go away. It's just you let him go away. And you brought in basically Napoleon that's taller with a bigger ego. And you think of the most egotistical guy you can think of. And, James Franklin would beat him with his own arrogancy. That's just what you got, bud. I'm not saying that we have a reputation, but it just seems like that's what encapsulates Penn State, where it's like, what does it look like? It looks like a guy like James Franklin who says, well, we have these guys, they're going to do great things, and we're going to always show that because I know it. I know it, me alone, and I do things me and I, myself, and me. Just saying, that's really what I hear when I see him talk.
Well,
I'm just saying, this is what we got to prove. We, not him, but we as a team, despite what he is going to come up with. I mean, dude, you think of the greatest moments in so many histories where it's like James Franklin had nothing to do with Micah Parsons blocking the kick. Grant Haley, he had nothing to do with Grant Haley running it back and getting that touchdown and getting that win. He had nothing to do with that. That was all talent. That was all the players on that field taking the moment where it was. So you're right about the receivers between Pena, Ross, and Hudson. I mean, can one of them have a huge moment? I think they will. I truly believe that. I'm not going to reveal who because I don't want to have it go out there, but I do believe that one of these guys is going to have a big game. Don't try and get it out of me, but I'm predicting this right here and now. One of those three receivers, I'm not saying 100 yards. I'm not saying 2 touchdowns, but I'm saying we could very well be seeing an explosive game from one of them.
Yeah, that's what Brett said.
Again, I don't want to give it away, but I just if it happens, I'll come on the post-game show and I will hoot and holler like a crazy person if I'm right.
Yeah, we will be doing – Brett's literally taking off work the next day. But here's the thing, man. Like, going into this season, I thought Penn State's going to beat Oregon. It's at home. It's a whiteout. The way they've played, dude, why – how are we going to win? I mean, our offense can't do anything. Our offense can't do anything. Drew Aller is a shell of himself. I would not want to be Drew Aller right now. I don't know if it's the pressure. I don't know what it is. But people have said this about Arch. They said he had a lot of expectations on him, and that causes a lot of anxiety and pressure on him and the team. So Aller is leaps and bounds ahead of Arch Manning in terms of experience, age, everything.
Yep.
And he's QBR-wise, he started out the season as the number one quarterback in the country, easily.
Yep.
Now he's 111 in the country in terms of QBR. I mean, it's horrendous.
Yeah.
It really is, man. It's a nightmare scenario. No, I have to say, it's one thing I'm like, well, I'm not surprised because it's Penn State. It's a James Franklin coach team, but I am surprised. I'm like, 3 cupcake teams and we didn't dominate any of them, man. Like Nevada, I guess you could say we dominated them in a sense, but I wanted 60-some points. FIU, 34-0, 10-0 at halftime. And then Villanova, 13-0 at halftime. Some people don't even know they have a football team, Villanova.
They're more a basketball team at school. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Just as someone who played the sport, someone who knows his team, someone who knows the feeling of playing the sport, there's something wrong with this team. And I don't know if they're holding back. I think they just might not be good. Either way for me, it's a no-win situation because we should win this game because we should have won this game going into the season. And if we do win, it's like, okay, we did what we were supposed to do. But if we lose, it's like, not only did we lose to a team that we probably should have beaten, but man, this is going to get worse. We're not beating Ohio State. I don't think that's going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
But if they do what they should do, they can beat anybody. But they're not doing that. So I have to base it off of what I've seen. And it's been very frustrating and underwhelming. So.
Bud, and I know this is going to sound a little crazy, but, if it were me and I was like managing this particular game coming up with the whiteout and the craziness that is going to go, it's going to go crazy. Like, we're going to be as loud as we possibly can. That crowd will be as much of a 12th man as they possibly can for us. Personally, if I win that coin toss at the beginning of the game, if I'm Penn State, I take the ball first. I set the tone.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if I would win this coin toss, and I would rather Oregon get that ball at the half. I would want to come out and show something. And I mean, again, if they're holding back offensively, that would just be me, bud. Like, I'm just saying, you cannot be afraid. This is really what it comes down to. You talk about being timid. You talk about trying to be preserved. Like, no longer. Like, not in Big Ten play. Not when this particular kind of game with this setup. Like, that's what I've always think that people have had a problem with. They're conservative. They don't try to do anything tricky, or like they don't try to like show like their horns. They don't try to butt heads or nothing. Like, they try to outsmart you. Like, they think they're being too intellectual for this type of play. Personally, I would just rather kind of make a statement, say like, we do have some things in our repertoire and have the big moments. And now again, let's put it this way. If they were to do that, if they were to get the ball first and run it with the offense, I would say if you get 3 points off of the opening drive, that's a victory to me. If you can show that you can get the ball in scoring position for Barker to kick and we go up 3-0. Now, if Oregon wants to score a touchdown in the very next series or something like that, then you respond. And then it's 10-7. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm going to say. If they're going to be like, if they're going to try to outsmart Oregon, this is where their downfall will be. Because what's his name? Give me the head coach's name one more time. I keep forgetting this guy's name. I see the face, but I can't remember his name.
Dan Lanning.
Dan Lanning. Like, that guy, did you hear the story? They're currently in Altoona right now, like, for the week.
Oregon is now?
Yeah, Oregon's, like, staying in Altoona or something. Like, I saw something on, like, Google or something. It says that they're currently staying in Altoona for the week. Like, they're hanging out in Pennsylvania. Like, yeah, I mean, double check me on that, but I'm pretty sure I saw that article.
The Altoona Mirror reported that numbers will be staying at Blair County Convention Center for its stupid ads. Oh my God. But it doesn't say, I don't think it says when.
Okay.
But yeah, they're going to be staying in Altoona.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw something on Google or something like that. Yeah, I was just flipping through and I saw some article and said something about they're staying in Altoona for the preparation for Penn State. I'm like, really? Like, huh? But listen, that's the kind of prep that a team like Oregon is going to have to get ready for, because they need to be ready for that whiteout. Now, again, another reason why I think Oregon won their game last year against us, it was at home for them. They were in Oregon. This is going to be totally different when they come to this side. It's going to be much, much different. Now, here's another thing. Like I said, if we were to score a field goal, again, if we have the opening drive and we're the ones who have the ball first and we get a field goal, we go 3-0, and then the defense shuts them down. If they go 3 and out or something like that, imagine what kind of statement that makes. So you go 3 and out and you give the ball back to Drew Aller and company, and all of a sudden Katron Allen bursts through a hole and he gets a 70-yard touchdown, and all of a sudden it's 10-0. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many different scenarios in which I think that they can be successful, but that's what I think would be the true test for Penn State to really get over. It's like, be aggressive. Like, really show your teeth, like, right in the way. Like, really show that you want this win more than anything. And I think that would be the way to handle it. I just think being aggressive like that would really, truly put some fear into the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, I mean, if they come out and they score, they're up 7-0, and then they come out their first possession, the crowd's going to be, if it's possible, more fired up 7-0 than they would be normally. So, yeah, I mean, that is not a bad idea, Jerrod. But, with Franklin, because to me, man, like, going into the season, I wasn't like, oh, man, this is a big game. Like, we need to, we need to dominate Oregon, and this is a big game. Like, of course, it's a big game, but I considered Ohio State the big game on the schedule.
Right. But dude, that helps us so much. Listen, I know that we have top 12 team now as opposed to 4, but I'm saying it does help your resume when you have not 1 but 2 big games. And Oregon has shown that they are still a pretty darn good team despite Dylan Gabriel leaving. So this is a pretty good team, dude. So I'm not surprised whatsoever that they're still in the top 10. That coach is fantastic. So again, the only thing that's holding us back is knowing what Drew Aller has always been and can be different. Listen, if you can get me 220 yards out of Drew Aller in this game, if you can give me that, I think this team is easily going to win this game. I'm not giving a prediction yet. I'll do that on Tuesday if I'm on. But I'm saying the things that need to occur in this game is just you need to come out strong. You need to show that you want this game more than anything. Because when you do that, that's your only big home game, too. That's another thing you got to really focus on, too. I'm not saying that Indiana won't be big, but it's like your huge big home game. Everything else is like at Iowa, at Ohio State. If you want to make a big statement on this season, you need to win this game at home. Like, I know that the big challenge is taking on Ohio State and beating them there. I don't know how it will happen, but if that were to come true, dude, we're talking about trying to go undefeated and try to be the number 1 spot. I mean, I would like to see that in my lifetime for Penn State. I would like to see them be the team to beat. But as of right now, Ohio State is destroying every team they've played. Miami's doing the same thing. Georgia's looked okay. I mean, I don't think they probably does belong in the same breath, but I think they're still hovering around that. LSU is another team I'm looking at. You're looking at maybe 4 or 5 teams tops. That it's like, why can't Penn State try to showcase themselves when it matters? Now, again, I'm hoping they're holding back. I'm hoping this is what's the case, but only will this game truly prove that. So,
yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I mean,
no, I get your pessimism, dude. I really do agree with what you say when you've played the game, that what you should be expecting from this kind of game. And you're right. I'm totally right there with you because, again, the history is there with Penn State when it comes to the big game, dude. And it's like, well, what was the last time again? It was like we've seen it against Ohio State in 2016 or 17, whatever that game year was. And then we did it against Utah in the Rose Bowl. Like, that's our 2 big, victories that we just went out and dominated when no one thought we should. So,
right. Yep.
Let's make it 3. I would love to see 3.
Well, again, it's like the only other thing I could say is they need to come out and they need to be the team that they can be and win, because if they don't, man, they've got this game. If they lose this game, they're going to lose to Ohio State. They got Indiana. They've got Nebraska.
They got Iowa.
Nebraska's not easy either. They got Iowa on the road. They've got Michigan State. They've got Maryland, who looks good.
Yep.
Man, the way they've been playing, this could be really ugly,
Right.
And I know, Brett, for example, he would say, well, that's not going to happen, which, yeah, of course. I mean, he's not wrong, of course. But we don't know, man. Based off what they've done so far, I believe, they might be holding back, but dude, it's annoying. It's like, stop doing that, please. Us fans are pissed off, and we want to see good football. That's it. So it's like they could be holding back, and they could be doing good against a better team, but it's like you should do that against worse teams, so you play better against good teams. But also, it's like, if you can't figure it out against these 3 bad teams, why would they all of a sudden do well against Oregon? And why would Drew Aller just magically play better against Oregon? That doesn't make sense. But this team doesn't make sense. So,
yeah, I mean, I'll close it out with this, but we know this schedule is a lot crazier than what it is. I mean, you're looking at, after this, we're at UCLA, which will be a breeze. We will. And then we come home for Northwestern, which should be a breeze. And then we have the 3 toughest parts of our schedule I can think of. We're at Iowa, we're at Ohio State, and then we're home for Indiana. That doesn't let up. That's just nuts to know that we have to go into a hostile environment like Iowa, and then we have to then prove ourselves and get out of it. And then we have our bye, which is very helpful with that. And then we go into Ohio State. And there's, again, what this game this week should prove is how badly they want it. Because, again, you're talking about years of being kicked around, years of being the little brother to Ohio State, Michigan, or Oregon now. There's always these couple teams ahead of you. That's you can't ever be number 1. So you have the talent now. You do. Your defense has always been your strength. You go out there and you shut it all down. And then when it comes to the offense, you have all these weapons. Use them. Just get out there and start using those darn players and just go out there and be the best version that you can possibly be. End of story.
I mean, some of the people that I know that are diehard fans, it's one of those things where they were hoping that somehow Oregon would end up at 1 or something, and then we would be 2. It's going to be 3 versus 6. And then if we beat the crap out of them, then that would help with rankings. But, one thing that really irritates the crap out of me is, first of all, Franklin's tweets. Every week it's like, we need everybody 107,000 people in the stadium. It's like, dude, you make me want to smash my head against the wall. Like, it's like telling a river, like, hey, river, keep flowing. Don't stop.
Yeah.
It's like, don't stop flowing, river. Please. We need you to keep going. It's like, it's not going to, like,
It's like telling salmon not to swim upstream,
Yeah. It's like, it's like if you owe someone money, but every week you say, hey, like, you owe me allowance or something, but you owe them like $300. It's like, hey, you owe me allowance. Don't forget. But you owe me like $300. I mean, it's like, dude, we're going to be there. Please shut up. I mean, honestly, we're going to be there. What we need from you is for you to stop tweeting and win a big game. How about that? And not suck again, and your team not suck against 3 bad teams. But all week it's going to be white out this, white out that, white out this, white out that. When was the last time a whiteout meant anything? I mean, we never win a national title. Last year was the first year we've made the top 4. The whiteout means nothing, dude. I'm so sick of this fight for the whiteout.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another game. What does it ultimately mean? What does it ultimately mean? You can make it mean
something this week. That's for darn sure.
Yeah. So, it's like all this hype for the whiteout, and people get so excited, and it's like, okay, like, that's fine. Get excited. It's like Santa Claus coming to town. But what does it mean? It's like, honestly, it's like if you get all excited for Santa Claus and then he doesn't bring gifts, it's like, what does it mean at the end of the day? What has it meant ultimately at the end of the day? It doesn't lead to anything meaningful. So,
Well, but I don't know if you've heard me make the analogy before, but I'll end it with this. So I think I've made this point on a couple more of my podcasts, but like the structure of like games, and it comes to like, why should you care? It's like, I've always like done it in a dating rank. Like, when you think of like, if you have a winning record, you're going on a date. If you made the playoffs, you're in a relationship. If you get to the championship, you're ready to get to the next level of the relationship. And when you win the championship, you consummated the relationship. It's just like, I feel like Penn State is always like, they're always on dates. They're always dating. Are they in relationships? They make the playoffs a lot. I mean, they constantly know how to, put themselves out there. But I mean, dude, we're waiting to consummate the relationship. We're waiting for the big moment to finally happen. And I'm saying, in this platform, darn it, you could definitely say that you're going to impress the girl this week if you are to win this one. I'm just saying, this is right now the thing. You're right now at the outside arena where all the studs are, and you put yourself out there and you showcase yourself. What's it going to do to impress her? Like, come on now. You've got a chance now. And I'm saying, if you don't, dude, there is just no point of you going to that gym anymore.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, what does it ultimately mean when you have this whiteout game, and James Franklin loves the whiteout? He said he wants everybody in State College wearing white. And it's like, dude, please just stop. Oh my God. Like,
dude, he's that arrogant. He just thinks by saying things that he's going to get the reaction he wants.
He loves the attention or something. I don't know. But, yeah, yes. Like you said, Jerrod, it's when are we going to finally consummate the marriage? So they need to win this week. The thing is, man, they can beat Ohio State. Like, there's every year they can beat Ohio State. The past few years, every time they could have beaten Ohio State, including 2017 when we had national championship hopes. Because Ohio State, they've played Texas, right, at home. Yep. They scored 14 points at home against Texas at noon.
Yeah.
Bro, Texas is not that good.
No.
Okay?
Nope.
And then you've got Ohio State's the rest of their schedule. They haven't really played anybody. I
No.
mean, and then Oregon, they haven't really played anybody either. So is Ohio State number one? They're not the best team in the country. Nothing against Ohio State fans. I know that they're going to, come after me about that, which is fine. But they're not the number one team in the country, man. They haven't done really anything. They scored 14 at home against Texas. Texas is not that good. Oregon hasn't played anybody. So if we can beat Oregon and Ohio State, the best team right now, I think that we're going to end up playing in terms of what they've done is Indiana, man. They embarrassed Illinois last night.
Yes, they did.
I think that's the best team we have right now on our schedule. So we got to see how it plays out. But Jerrod, so I guess you'll come on Tuesday night, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we will see you guys next time.
Yes, sir. I'll set it out, guy. So thank you so much for coming on, bud. I know that you have a busy schedule on the weekend, but yeah, guys, I thank you guys for watching. This has been a great episode. The Steelers had a great reaction to what happened last week. Again, more points than the other team. That's a good start, but still keep improving, keep making it better. And again, we'll see you guys for the Tuesday episode when Penn State and Oregon play this weekend. Hopefully it's just another game that Penn State can put in the win column. We're supposed to treat the Ohio State game like it's the big game of the year, but now we have ourselves a matchup. And you want to make some noise, go out there and produce. Yep. So you guys have yourselves a good one. Thank you for coming on. And as always, guys, here we go, Steelers, and we are Penn State.
All right, guys. See ya.